Good evening. First, I want to thank you, Rabbi Ginsbury and community members, for hosting me on your Tisha B'av community event. As a young woman, I had the privilege to spend 3 years at Gated Seminary, and I am excited to return to your community. One of the few positive aspects that came from this period of Corona is that it has taught us that we are all much closer than we thought. We don't have to get on a plane and fly several hours in order to meet and engage with each other. In these final hours of Tisha B'av, before the sun sets, it is my honor to be with the Hendon Jewish community on such a powerful day in our Jewish calendar. In regular years, we are asked to remind ourselves of the collective suffering of our nation some 2,000 years ago with the destruction of the Beit Hamikdash, at the center of this national trauma and pain. Yet, this year, we do not need to reach back into our nation's collective memory to feel the pain of the Jewish people. Unfortunately, you know this all too well. The UK's Jewish community suffered dramatic losses in the outbreak of the Corona pandemic. In the past few months, you have lost grandparents, friends, religious leaders, and pillars of the community. The pain of the UK's community is the pain of the Jewish communities worldwide, whether they be in New York, Paris, Morocco, or here in Israel. Today, unlike past Tisha B'avs, al ele ani buchia. Despite this hardship, as we slowly return to collective prayer and Jewish life, we stand united on this very day as we mourn the destruction of the Beit Hamikdash. Our history shows us that the bricks that have held our institution may rise and fall, but how we treat one another, our solidarity, is the true structure of our people. This is the bond that keeps us together. In the book of Bereshit, Hashem asks man 2 questions. Not often are these 2 questions linked, but they both serve as a wake-up calls for mankind and are as relevant today as they were when they were first asked. The first is to Adam Rishon. Ayeka. Hashem asks man, where are you? This is not an informative question. Rather, Hashem urging man to reflect on his situation. Where are you in relation to your purpose and aspiration? The second question is in the following chapter. Hashem asks Cain, Haya Evel Achicha. Where is Evel, your brother? Again, not informative, but rather, where are you in relation to your brother? These questions are not limited to their biblical context. They echo ever after in mankind's conscience. It is no coincidence that the title of the book we read earlier today, Eicha, has the same root, the same shoresh as the questions asked by Hashem. Today, in the midst of this tragic period, we must ask ourselves these exact 2 questions. Where are we in relation to ourselves? How do we not lose our self-dignity and our Tzelem Elokim? And no less important, Where are we in relation to our brothers and sisters? In relation to the rest of Am Yisrael? Let us not fall back on the answers of Adam HaRishon and kind, blaming others and shrugging off our responsibility. My message to you on this day of collective Jewish mourning is simple and sincere. In the spirit of arvut adadit, of mutual responsibility, let us be able to share with our children in the future that together we overcome this hard period, supporting one another. We, the State of Israel, stand together with you, the Jewish community of England, and Jewish communities all around the world. It is our responsibility to listen, feel, and respond in both message and action. As Israel's Minister of Diaspora Affairs, I'm launching a strategic plan to support Jewish communities hurt by COVID-19, to strengthen the bonds between Israel and the diaspora, and to build bridges between Jewish communities around the world. In the final hours of the day, our mourning turns to hope of brighter days. Although Eicha describes the destruction of Beit Hamikdash, it ends with a message of hope. Chadesh Yamenu Kekedem. Yerushalayim was destroyed over 2,000 years ago because of sinat chinam. In the story of Kamsa Vebar Kamsa, the rabbis tells us of the hatred between a host and an uninvited guest that led to the destruction of Yerushalayim. But reading the Midrash, we discovered that more than the hatred between the two individuals, the destruction is attributed to all those present at the feast who witnesses the occasion of sinat chinam and did nothing intervene. No one got up to say, Shomer achi anochi, I am indeed my brother's keeper. Yerushalayim was destroyed as a result of sinat chinam and will be rebuilt through ahavat chinam be'ezrat Hashem. Together we will overcome our shared challenges, and together we will build a shared Jewish future. I look forward to brighter days where we can meet and engage in person, whether in London or here in Yerushalayim. Until then, sending my solidarity and love from the State of Israel to all of you, and wishing you strength, health, and growth in the days to come. השיבנו השם אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו כקדם.